Talking about the Vikings here. The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! And it's gone! It is bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
I don't even know what to say to open this show. Like, pathetic loss, injury bug. Like, Kyle got taken out of the game with groin injuries. Bryce Harper pulled his hamstring or something. I don't even know what to say. Honestly, an absolute pathetic loss. They always play down to the fucking Marlins whenever we play them. Like, they're not even a good team. They're not even at 30 wins yet. They're not. They're not a good team. And we lost to them. Like, this, I'm telling you guys now, this show is just going to be one big rant tonight because there is a lot to nitpick from this team tonight. Have a special guest on with me tonight. Hasn't been on in a while. Sam, what's going on, buddy?
I think we should start a petition to relocate the leagues and put the Marlins in the AL East so the Yankees can deal with them. And can they just give us, like, the Rays? Because I'm just tired of I'm so sick of the Marlins. And what you just said is right. It doesn't matter how good this team is. They just play down to this freaking team. But they smacked them in the wild card round last year. But for some reason, when the Marlins in the regular season come around, they don't know what to do with that. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something that it's just, I don't know. I'm lost for words because this went from 6 2/3 of exciting baseball to 3 innings of torture. And it's torture on a lot of fronts.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't even know. Swoop. So, I turned the game off too, but I saw it on Twitter. So, Bryce Harper long story short, he tried too hard. If you want me to be honest, I mean, you're down 7-4. Honestly, he should have taken the loss. Probably should have just, struck out, whatever. He hit the ball, and he grounded out to second base. He hustled down the line, and he got his hamstring. I don't know if he landed on it the wrong way. I don't know if the first baseman, caught him the wrong way. But he came off the bag. He was hopping around, holding on to his hamstring. So I don't know, if he pulled it. I don't know what happened. It looked kind of similar to me, like the Marsh injury. We were at that game. Me, Brendan, and Dalt were at that game. Where Marsh kind of pulled his hamstring and he was hopping around. So hopefully it's not anything major. The last tweet that I saw was a left hamstring injury. I guess that'll be the first topic we get into is the injury bug. But yeah, Kyle left the game too with left groin injury. Bryce is out with this injury. Who else is out right now? Cody Clemens is out now.
Turnbull just got placed on the IL this afternoon.
What was that?
Turnbull just got placed on the IL this afternoon. Yeah. The walking home run derby known as Taiwan Walker is out with a finger injury. I mean, it's getting worse and worse. And the one injury you couldn't afford to have happen probably just happened. They got through most of it. They battled through Trey. Edmundo came up and stepped up for that. Marsh was only out a brief amount of time. Not that wouldn't have mattered anyway because we don't believe in playing him every day, and I can talk about that later on. But they got through that. They're still right now battling through JT, and I mean we're probably not looking at him returning until All-Star break after the fact. So we're still a few weeks away from that. And the one injury you could not afford was this one. If this is I don't care if it's only 2 weeks, any amount of time he misses is going to be crushing because of how valuable he is to this team. And I kind of look, I'm the one that will always say I appreciate a player that plays to the final out, the final second, the final whistle, whatever. But at that point, you're grounded out the second base. It's 7-4. You're out. Just jog the line. Just jog up the line. Take the loss. Come back tomorrow. And now we're sitting in a position where our best player just is possibly out for at least a minimum of 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like Swoop said here, okay, he'll be fine. I hope he's fine. I hope it's not anything major. People on Twitter are kind of overreacting right now. I mean, it's Twitter. That's what they always do.
You don't say.
People are saying that it seems similar to his injury that he got, I guess, a couple years ago when he hurt his hamstring. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's not my profession. That's not what my college degree is in.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I'm hoping he's okay. They probably won't give us an update until tomorrow. He'll probably be out at minimum 2 weeks if it's anything major. Hopefully, maybe it's just a cramp. Who knows? I mean, it could be, but I don't know. I'm kind of just irritated that, again, this team just plays down to inferior teams. This team, honestly, if it wasn't for the umpire, and this is going to get us into our next topic, if it wasn't for the umpire throwing that horrible strike on the edge of the zone, a ball, we would have been fine because Wheeler pitched an absolute gem, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. And then Strahm came in. I don't even know what the hell was wrong with Strahm. Like, Strahm's been dominant, and he came in and just, like, Berger, was it? No, it wasn't off of Strahm. That was off of Hoffman. But, like, I don't even know. Like, fucking umpires have just dicked us lately this season. Like, the umpire tonight was calling one pitch in the zone a strike. The next pitch in the same spot would be a ball. Then it would be a strike. Then it would be a ball. Like, make up your mind. Have a sense of consistency. Because tonight just showed that robot umpires in the ABS system need to come sooner rather than later. Because umpires for the past couple games, past couple series, not even for the Phillies, for any team that we play as long as us, just have been horrible.
Well, umpiring just around baseball in general has been bad. I mean, you got that one game. Like, here's a good example. What about that game in Colorado a few weeks ago? Guys got Teoscar Hernandez struck out. He swung, clearly swung. They called no swing. Next thing you know, Teoscar Hernandez hits a 3-run home run. And then they're in right field. Our good old friend Jake Cave's out there throwing a temper tantrum, rightfully so. But no, I saw like 2 or 3 times tonight guys be rung up on the inside corner. And then this next half inning, they were a ball. This has been, and we always like to make the Angel Hernandez jokes prior to him retiring. We love making the Angel jokes. This is getting worse than that because now it's every crew. Laz Diaz's crew does it. CB Buckner's crew is that. And CB Buckner's probably the worst umpire in baseball now that Angel Hernandez is scoring. But they need to do something about this because the umpires that are probably fighting for their jobs, they're not doing themselves any favors. And to off of what you said about Strahm and Hoffman, I'm not too upset with them. Like Strahm's allowed to run 3 times this year. You're going to get beat a few times here and there.
We completely obliterated our bullpen last night, so I feel like that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, then that's not their fault that Turnbull got hurt. So I mean, that really hurt that almost everybody had to pitch. But I'm finding it kind of weird that I haven't seen Sir Anthony Dominguez in the last 2 games. Because he's been pitching well. I don't know if Topper's still trying to weed him back into those late inning roles, but honestly, you can't burn out Strahm and Hoffman in June. We need them in October. So you know, when the bullpen rules come around in October, those first 3 out of the pen, barring any trade deadline acquisition, is going to be Strahm, Hoffman, Alvarado. And the fourth is probably going to be Kirkring because he's been really good. But you can't. I mean, eventually someone else is going to have to be used. And like I said, it wasn't no one's fault. About yesterday, Turnbull got hurt. They had the bullpen their way through it. You do what you got to do. What I'm afraid of now is now that Turnbull's hurt, I don't know when Walker's coming back, but I don't want to. We can't be bullpenning every fifth day until one of those two are healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Look at tonight. You used the bullpen up last night, and you had people try to come in tonight and absolutely abolish a lead that we had. I mean, we were up 3-0, and like you said, it was a good couple innings, and it went downhill really quick. I kind of had hope that they were going to come back and maybe have a walk-off. I mean, I've seen different things happen with this team. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I hope tomorrow they come out, absolutely swinging. I'm sure there's going to be, if Sorber and Harper are out tomorrow, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of crazy ass lineup tomorrow. So we'll see what happens with that, honestly. But the one thing that I want to talk about, this lineup is just, I don't know what goes through Rob's head. And I know he's an analytic guy. I get it. I get that you don't want guys that can't hit against lefties playing. But I know you texted me before the show. Why do we not play Marsh tonight? Especially going 4 for 4 last night. He had 4 or 5 RBIs last night, had a home run last night. Why? I understand he's not the best against lefties, but you got to see what he can do. And the bottom of the lineup tonight, other than Sosa, Merrifield 0 for 3, Pache 1 for 4, Marchand. I mean, Marchand's pretty decent. He hit a home run to kind of, give us the lead there. But I don't know. I don't agree with this lineup. What do you think, Sam?
Listen, I apologize for the rant I'm about to go on because this has been driving me bonkers now for 2 years. The Phillies, what they need to understand is when they do this stupid crap, what Topper does this, they have got 3 guaranteed outs from 7 through 9. Marchand is not one I'm talking about. Rafael Marchand, I can make the case that he should be the backup catcher when JT is back because I don't care about the vibe. Garrett Stubbs stinks, and we just need to admit that. Garrett Stubbs is terrible. Has he gotten a hit this year that has left the infield that wasn't a bunt single? That's the first thing. Number 2, Whit Merrifield. This is the equivalent to when the team signed Josh Harrison 2 years ago. He has no swing left. I don't think he's gotten 2 hits in a game since he was in Kansas City, which was 4 years ago now. And he's a glorified out. I have people on Twitter saying that there's probably a 1% chance he's on this team after the trade deadline because he has not been good at all. I don't care how versatile he can be. Oh, he could play left. He could play right. He could play short. He could play third. He could play. I don't care. I can't have guys going 0 for 4. The only bench bat that I confidently can have play every day is Edmundo. The problem is his best position, I'm paying somebody $300 million at that position already. So now to the Marsh thing. You're never going to get him better against, and this doesn't just go for Marsh. This goes for Bryson Stott, who again was not in the lineup against a lefty. You are never going to get these young players better against left-handed pitching if you continue to sit them. I don't care about righty, lefty. It's not like you have Willie McCovey on your bench. Christian Pache couldn't buy a base hit if he was playing T-ball. Brandon Marsh is the only player I can remember going 4 for freaking 4 one day with 4 RBIs, and then he gets sacked the next day. Jimmy Rollins was sat on teams with Charlie Mangle for not hustling. Now we sit guys who go 4 for 4 and drive in 4 runs. You're never going to get Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott better against left-handed pitching because you don't trust them. And stop acting like you have major upgrades against lefties on your bench. Pache stinks. Dahl, he is what he is. He's not that good. Merrifield stinks. Enough with this. Your 9 best players have to play. And Christian Pache is not one of those 9 best players. Like I said, you could put him on a T-ball field. He couldn't buy it. He ground out. Couldn't buy it. So please, can we stop with the Brandon Marsh every other day playing? And the other thing that Rob Thomson needs to remember, the Phillies didn't just get Brandon Marsh off the scrap heap. They traded one of their best catching prospects in Logan Ohape to get him. Ohape right now would look pretty good in the Phillies uniform with JT out. But no, and I'm not saying it was a bad. The trade is even as all. Phillies get a Gold Glove outfielder. Angels get a future catcher. But guess what? I wouldn't have to be watching Garrett Stubbs play every other day. But for him to continue to sit him against lefties, it's just going to hurt this team every time in the long run. Because Christian Pache cannot play. He just can't. The Atlanta Braves, and I hate the Braves. Eric, you know this. They are still one of the best young player development teams in baseball. If they knew Christian Pache couldn't play, I think we should listen to that. Because Christian Pache couldn't make it on the Oakland A's. So I'm done because if I talk more about Brandon Marsh, I may have to cut my cam because I may blow my microphone speaker. But I'm done with the Brandon Marsh sitting every other day stuff. So I'll let you go on for the rest of that. Yeah, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of this. I am so absolutely sick of all this stuff with Brandon Marsh. I don't understand why. And I'm just like, I don't understand why we do this. Like, again, I've sat here and I've thought about it and I just continue to not understand why they do this stuff. Like Brandon Marsh, I mean, I guess he must be that bad because I guess lefties, because I don't understand why they do this still. Like, we look at these things and like Brandon Marsh was supposed to be our everyday center fielder. Then they moved Rojas over, and Rojas can't hit either. And I don't understand it at all. Why on earth this is happening? And we have to sit here and deal with this with Brandon Marsh. Because Brandon Marsh is probably their best outfielder, I would say. I don't know personally if they could say that Castellanos is our best outfielder, because Castellanos has been terrible. Not terrible, but he's been like.
I'm back. Sorry, it's storming here, and my power decided to shut off. So I appreciate you filling in there.
I'm not gonna lie. I apologize for the 5 to 10 second pause. I was like, "Is he still here?"
No, my power. I texted you. I tried calling you too to tell you.
I know my phone was. I saw your call, but I didn't want to. I saw your text, so I'm like, okay, I got this. And I had the phone to my right, so I didn't see it right away. I was like, this is odd.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's storming here just because it's been so hot lately.
Oh yeah.
So I was mid sentence and my power shut off, and I was like, fuck. Let me text him real quick. But yeah, I kind of saw on my phone you were talking about Brandon Marsh. I completely agree with you. I honestly again, he's been on a hot streak the past couple games. I don't know why you would sit him. I think honestly, you got to if Harper and Kyle are injured, knock on wood, they're not. You got to sit down and you got to look at this lineup and be like, okay, who are we playing now that 2 of your star players are out? And yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a dead horse. I'm sure you kind of talked about it all, but I need Rob to make some smart lineup decisions.
Yeah, that's an understatement. And I'm not trying to blame. I know this is kind of like a weird thing to say, but you know what? Kind of blaming the team for the Turnbull injury too. You know why? Because here's the thing. I have studied baseball my whole life. The one thing I know about starting pitchers, they are creatures of habit. They have to have the same everyday routine. Even on the days they don't pitch, they need to have that same routine. Do you know what you did to Spencer Turnbull? You put him in the starting rotation in the beginning of the season. He's a natural born starter. Good job. He was 3-0 before he moved to the bullpen. Then you moved him to the bullpen, got him his command all whacked up because now he's only pitching 1 inning, 2 inning. Then there were situations where they could have used him for 3 innings and they didn't. Now there was then up until Boston, before the Boston series, he didn't pitch for a week. So now his arm is not used to those multiple innings. So then what happens? You bring him back in Detroit, and now he's on the IL because he hurt his shoulder, because his arm got out of whack, because you put him in 2 very different situations. And that's a guy who's already had an injury history. So I'm kind of blaming them a little bit on that too. Because they shouldn't have been merry-go-rounding these guys to start the year. They need to stop this. They have to get the fifth. They need to trade. They're going to have to trade for some type of a low-end starting pitcher, because I don't trust Turnbull, a lat strain, 8 weeks. We're going to be in freaking August by the time he gets back, if he comes back. And I don't need Mr. Hang-a-Splitter Walker. I mean, look, if he can come back and eat the innings up in the season, that's fine. You don't need a fifth starter in October. You got your 4 guys. You got Wheels, you got Nola, you got Suarez, and you got Sanchez, who, by the way, Christopher Sanchez has been phenomenal this year. But you don't need a fifth starter in October because you get every other day off, basically. You need a guy to eat innings. If Taiwan's freaking going to get blasted every week, I don't care how many innings he's eating. I'd like to win a start or 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think they handled the Turnbull situation well. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I don't know. I'm irritated on how certain things have been handled lately. I think it could have been handled better. But I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping the show up. I don't want to lose power again.
I don't blame you.
So I don't want to have the show cut out, but Phillies lose, unfortunately, 7-4. Hopefully they're back tomorrow. Keep your eye on Twitter for any Bryce Harper updates, Kyle updates. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what happens. We'll be here with you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good night. And we're going to go ahead and roll the outro. See you guys.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! And it's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go